just both him and Simon Phillips take up. They just look at me and it's like, fucking Peter. Hit you right in the heart again. Anyway, we're going to be boarding in about 35 minutes, taking enough time for themselves. So that's it. We'll get back to you tomorrow or something like that. Go find an energy drink with no preservatives. I'm a professional. I'll rise above this. Okay? Yeah. It's like that. Happy Father's Day. Sunday night, right here. Life of Peter G, the Peter G Show, coming at you live from the Gulf Coast in my 6 weeks of summer tour, which I'm very proud of and happy. It's good to be here. Busy as hell, but it's good to be here. Father's Day. Going to get into that. It's deep. I think all those kind of holidays are. But that's what I do. Hope everybody's doing well. It's been a fantastic week. Again, the weather was great up until a couple of days ago. Saturday AM or Friday night. The rain started coming in, poured like hell. Still going to get a bunch of it, but I've been very blessed. The weather's been great. Anyway, hope everybody's doing good on this Father's Day 2021. I don't know what's going on in California. I hear maybe they're digging their way out. I didn't even get to talk to my daughter today. It was so crazy. I got a text. We'll get into that too. But, I told you ever since I stepped off the plane and got into Florida, haven't seen, I don't even know where my mask is. it's life. It's everybody's living. There's no threats. Oh, up here. What you want to believe. I don't doubt that people are getting sick. But I know I used to get colds too. The flu. Kung flu. It happens. But people aren't running crazy out in the streets. That's for sure. Anyway, last week, I hope you enjoyed last week's show. Last week I had the White Tie Rock Ensemble on. Though Jonathan came on and spoke for the whole entire ensemble. Amazing tribute band that's multifaceted, and as I said, I've watched them go from little to nothing to now they're going to be filling half of an arena up. It's crazy, really crazy good for them, and they just do it locally. They don't even have to travel, and people are paying consistently to see good music and grab an experience, and they do it really, really well. So I hope you caught that show. You can find them on YouTube. White Tie Rock Ensemble, lots of great videos. But if you get a chance to catch them live in person, that's another great thing too. But I was glad that Jonathan Clark came on and was able to give me some time. And like I said, I've known them, for quite some time, and I thought it was well worth it because they deserve a pat on the back. There's a million tribute bands, but which one's good? Which one's you get what you pay for, kind of. These guys bring it. Anyway, that was last week. Happy to say that next week, after a month off, which equals a 2-month hiatus, next week I'm bringing the almighty East Coast, Baltimore's own Mr. Bob Paff back on for another segment of East Meets West. It's going to be right here on this show next Sunday night, the last Sunday of the month, which is what we normally do, but being that it was Memorial Day weekend last month, I gave him the night off. In fact, I took the night off, so everybody got the night off, almost everybody. But he'll be back, and I'm going to tell you, I still keep up with Bob, and there's been a lot going on for him for the past 2 months. So he's having issues with Facebook like I used to, and I know he's got a lot to talk about. But from being hacked to getting booted, all kinds of fun stuff. But that'll be next week. I'm going to try and keep tonight's show short and sweet. I said try. I'm going to remind you guys to subscribe to YouTube. I want to see you on my YouTube channel because that way when you comment, I can see your comments. It's just much easier. If you're not on the official Peter G Show page, it's harder for me to see your comments live. Like some of the others that are on these other pages. I mean, I have it off to my side on another screen, but it's much easier if I can look forward, and I miss a lot of things. But again, if you subscribe to YouTube, it notifies you when I'm on. You just watch. There's no cost. There's no nothing. It's the same like being on Facebook, only better because it's a lot less hassle and easier to find all the shows, too. They don't get buried in all my little snippets that we put out through the week. That's for sure. But I urge you to please subscribe to YouTube. It's things are changing. That I can guarantee you, too. As soon as I get back to LA, we got lots of meetings going on as to what's the next step forward, hopefully. But that's it tonight. If things go well, I'm going to open up the phone lines. If anybody wants to call in and talk about whatever, I'm going to focus on Father's Day and tell a few stories and things like that. But I may open up the phone lines in a little bit, and if anybody wants to call in and say, hey. We haven't had that in a while, but, I urge you to get the guts up. If you got something good to say, if it's jibber jabber, we're okay. If you got a good joke, whatever, but it is Father's Day and I'm going to pay attention to that. I got a few things that ran through my mind as always, but now, it emphasizes the holidays like this really, really bring out a little more stronger emotions, things like that. But, I'm going to talk about it because these past few weeks I've been going. We have guest after guest, and I had to cut right to it. And I don't get to talk about generic stuff. So tonight I'm taking it all on my own, and going to just talk about this stuff. But first, I'm going to tell you I could not be here if it was not for my beloved Bolt Energy. So I'm going to give me a minute. Let me tell you about Bolt Energy, and we'll be right back. All right. So here we go.
Hey everybody, Peter G from the Peter G Show here. The greatest divorce and single parenting talk show guy, period. I talk about real life. People need to talk about real life. Speaking about real, meet Bolt Energy, the real deal. Why Bolt Energy, you ask? Good question. It's a cleaner energy drink. No preservatives. Fortified with minerals, vitamins, and nutrients. Meat? Not so much. Here's something that really is the kicker that you probably didn't know. George Washington took a ton of this stuff across the Delaware. How do you think we won the war? I cannot tell a lie. So ask for it by name, Bolt Energy. Tell them Peter G from the Peter G Show sent you. And as always, love you guys. Peace out.
Peter G Show.
That's right, Bolt Energy. I cannot tell a lie. You can find Bolt Energy. Go to Twitter, Bolt Energy LLC, Instagram, Bolt Energy LLC, Facebook, Bolt Energy LLC, and ask the Bolt Energy people, hey, where's that Bolt Energy at? It's not easy. I mean, they can't cover everywhere. They're working on it one, area at a time. It's kind of like this show. One person at a time. Slow and steady. But it's working. Again, they know what I do, and they still sponsor me, so God love them. Bolt Energy. Here's the deal. Tonight being Father's Day, I thought it would be appropriate to talk about Father's Day stuff and share a couple of stories. I figure, if any of my 3 million want to call in and say something, again, I got the shyest crowd in the world, but you can. But I'll start it off. I always lead by example. Always do. And I'll start off with this morning. Seems like a good time to start off. I woke up. That was a good start. I always tell... It's a stupid joke, but I mean, you're walking in the stores and people going, how you doing? I go, I woke up this morning. It was a good start. And he goes, yeah, I guess you're right. There's no guessing to it. It is a good start. Not everybody gets that privilege. Believe me, the older I get, the more I start paying attention to who's not around anymore. We're going to take it nice and casual tonight, all right, folks? Cheers. I love you. Thank you for watching. I mean it. So, let's see what we got here. Sorry. 6 million. Sorry. I got 6 million viewers. I had to be corrected. Give or take. I don't pay attention anymore. I just don't. It is what it is. The show will go on. If it's 16 million, 60 million, doesn't matter. I mean, it matters, but we still do a show because the ones that are there are worth doing the show for. And that's what I live for. I live for you guys. I do this for you guys. Hopefully, at the end of the day, when you hang up, and it was something came out of it. I touched a nerve, a button. I opened up a channel, something in your mind that was like, wow. I can relate. And there's a couple of jokes in there too. But so I woke up this morning. I wanted to go to church. Now, I don't go to church a lot because Sundays are hard for me. They really are. It's a work day, so to speak. I get sick of waking up in the mornings. I'm more of a nighttime kind of guy. And but I'm not down here a whole lot, and there's a lot of elderly people that I grew up around that I want to pay my respects to. On top of it, it was Father's Day. I did it for my mother and my father. I mean, even though it's Father's Day, again, I pay heavy respects to both of them because I love them both very much. And I'll get to that in a minute. But I got up and I had to do some show stuff beforehand. There's stuff I had to do because I'm down here, and even though we may be doing a few things remotely, there's a lot of responsibility on me over here. So I got up and I got my act together many hours earlier. I woke up around 6 a.m. Church is until about 10. But I wanted to be up and have a bunch of stuff done, and knowing that the alarm went off at 6 and I was going to not get up at 6, I got up at like 6:30, 6:40. Yeah, I did. But anyway, still made it, and I made it early. But anyway, I got in the shower, got cleaned up, threw on a suit, and went to church. Church wasn't that crowded. Now, summertime for where I grew up over here, always in the summertime. It's summertime. There's not as many people, and this isn't any kind of mega church or anything. It's a Greek Orthodox church. It's a little old church. It's a nice church. But it's, there wasn't a whole lot of people. I'm early, so I'm figuring, a lot of people show up 3/4 of the way through. And people did. But as I'm standing around, in church, and I always sit in the back. I just like to see what's going on. I'm all the way in the back. But, as people were walking in, I didn't really recognize anybody. Now, granted, the years are going by, things change. But I got to tell you, a lot of the elderly people that were always around my folks and things like that, these past 2 years, including my father, a lot of people have passed away, and they've made it into their 90s and things like that. And that's, in a lot of ways, it's wonderful. But it's the old school Greeks are thinning out. And I really didn't, I'm looking around and I'm going, this is really kind of weird. Now, I didn't have my daughter with me because she's not here with me. And, a lot of times I would take her because I wanted her to know her history. I wanted her to know who that person was and what they did for us and my family and this and that. And she did for the most part. And it's important to me for her to know history and to know these people and to respect these people. Because when I was a kid growing up, my mother used to go around to all the elderly people that used to be around her mother. And we go visit them, and it was boring. But they love me. They bent over backwards to do things because you're a little kid. It's like, why wouldn't you? On top of that, going to church, it's Father's Day. And I did want to see some people, but there really wasn't anybody there. I could probably count on less than one hand some people that I actually spoke to. It's just, I see things changing. And I guess change is inevitable, but I don't know. Maybe I wasn't ready for it, And when I'm going to tell you something, and I've said this many times too, when I'm in church, my mind goes, it runs the gamut. While I'm standing there, my mind is thinking about everything from childhood to the here and now, to the people I love, to the people I've lost. I get kind of strangely weak in some ways because I start thinking about a lot of very vulnerable things. Well, I don't know why. Now I think about these things sometimes when I'm just here at the, or at the house, or, anywhere, or in the car, but in church, for some reason, it just opens up this door. It opens up this door that just starts flooding in the emotions. And on top of it, it's Father's Day. I know why I'm there. And you start thinking about a lot of things. The past, the here and now. And it really just, I just get really, it's strange. I go in and out, like I'm paying attention what's going on in church, and then I don't pay attention. But that's what was going on, and so finally church is over, and I it's Father's Day, and then they're wishing everybody happy Father's Day, and I spoke to a couple of people, and then I left, and I wanted to go to my parents' grave, which is fortunately not very far from the church. And not very far from me. I've already been there, probably half a dozen times already. I don't know why. I don't know if it does any good, but I go for just a couple of minutes. But I went after church, and I went there, and the weather was starting to get cloudy again. You know, it was, again, this rain. We're getting a lot of on and off rain. But I went to their grave again. And, okay, it's Father's Day, but not only was it Father's Day, but on this, where my parents are buried, it's not only my father, but my mother's right there too. And to me, it's all the same. Father's Day, Mother's Day, every day should be a day that you care about these people. And I am a father, I have a daughter, but right now it just, it was more emphasis on my parents or my father. But, I couldn't go see, I'm not there for one. In my mind, it's both. I don't care if it's Father's Day, Mother's Day. I mean, that's how I spent my Father's Day, paying respect to my parents who have since passed over the past 5 years. Almost 6 for my mother, 2.5 for my father. And I'm just standing there, and I'm thinking about a million things too, and it's always the same old thing, but I feel better. And no sooner am I finishing up, and the rain starts coming in. It starts to rain. So then I get out of there, and I'm going to go home. Well, if you want to call it home here. And I'm going over some things I want to do. And it's funny because I was watching some videos today. I just, I scan around. This is what it's all about, Facebook, and watching people post and Happy Father's Day. Everybody posting pictures of their fathers, and rightfully so. Just like Mother's Day, right? You're sitting there doing things, and you're proud of your parents. I mean, most people are. Not everybody is, and I really feel bad for the ones that aren't. I'm sorry for you. Not everybody has the perfect life. I didn't have a perfect life, but I love my parents very much. I did a ton of screwing up where I got my ass beat and things like that, but rightfully so when you look back at it. Back in the days when my father took care of business. I didn't like it, but he did. He was right. So, not everybody, I've seen many people that go, I hated my father, I hated my mother, they were a piece of crap and this and that. Again, it's not a perfect world. And I hope that I hope that experience makes you a better person. At least it should. Because if you become the same thing, then what did you learn from that? And especially if you have children, you want to make sure that you never do what that taught you. Just because you may have had a crappy childhood or something like that doesn't mean you have to pass it on. In fact, it should be the exact opposite. At least I hope. But that doesn't always happen. That's not always the case. I know people whose parents were alcoholics or this and that, and then they just look for the excuse to be an alcoholic too. Maybe it's hereditary. Maybe it's I don't know. I don't judge. I just try to talk about it and want to know why. Especially when it's people I know and love. Again, Father's Day. So I went to the cemetery, and then the rain started coming, and I said, okay, I'll see you later. But anyway, so I get home, and I'm watching. I got my suit off and all that. I'm sick of wearing ties for right now. I don't know if you've noticed, but it's a little bit of a V-neck going on right now. It's comfortable. It's hot as hell out here. And even though air conditioning and this and that, time to take a break. So I'm watching some videos, and it brought me back to something that I did too. I happened to see a TikTok video. TikTok, that's right. I find a lot of people on TikTok that do interesting things, speak about interesting stuff. And it was this, I guess this guy was about in his 20s or something like that. And somebody was filming him, and his father was in the garage or something like that. And he just walks on up. And from what I gather, this kid, man, just walked up and surprised us. I guess he didn't wasn't around or whatever. And he just walks up and he goes, hey. And his father's got like a box in his hand. He's walking towards like in the house, and he turns around and looks, and he takes a double take because it's his son. And the guy drops the box. And he just runs to his son and hugs the shit out of him and doesn't let go. And I remember that stuff because when I lived in LA, well, I do live in LA, but many, many years ago when I moved to LA, this is probably in the mid 90s. One time I decided to not tell my parents that I'm coming home and I'm just coming home. So I come home and I don't even open the door. I just ring the doorbell and my old man opens the door and he sees me and he about fell down because he just didn't expect to be seeing me. And that's, for my old man, he was a tough little old dude. He was this tough little Greek guy. I'm talking about a man who, like, until I moved away from here, from home, from them, he never really said, I love you. He didn't have to. I knew he did, but he just was not that kind of a guy. But when he finally said, I love you, it was because I was leaving. I was moving away. And he never stopped saying, I love you after that. It's the craziest thing. I was 29 years old when I moved to LA. And then from that point on, his whole demeanor changed. He started getting softer. What is Tina saying? 80% of our community is at that cemetery, is asked by the community why. And our response, tongue-in-cheek, is to be able to hear the Greek music at a festival. Oh, that's funny. The cemetery where my parents are buried are only about 4 blocks away from the Greek church. So Tina was just saying that the reason all the Greeks are buried over there is so they can hear the Greek music at the Greek festivals. That's cute. That's cute. But so anyway, the whole thing is that I saw this video of the kid surprising his father, and that really just hit me because I truly related to that because I lived that. I did the same thing to my old man, and he about fell out. And that's a big deal. Anyway, here's what I'm going to do. Where am I? Hope everybody's feeling good. I'm going to open up the phone lines. 818-259-7983. If anybody wants to call, tell a story, say hi, happy Father's Day, whatever you want to do. I'll take a phone call and we'll see what happens from there. But again, Father's Day. I just thought I'd take it nice and slow this week. I needed a little bit of a break. We've been hustling. It's been busy as hell, and I just wanted to talk about Father's Day because Father's Day is important, man. And again, so I get out of church and immediately I turn my phone on because I turned my phone completely off. I didn't put it on silent. I just turned it completely off. 818-259-7983 is the phone number. If anybody builds up the desire to call in and say something of worth, it is Father's Day. You might as well. But so no sooner do I turn my phone on. Hang on one second. Hey, you're on with Life of Peter G. Who's this? Hello. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hey, who's this?
Hey, Peter.
Hey, who's this?
Mike.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to you.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
Well, it's real,
I know.
Changed my whole life.
It did. Yeah. And, it's so funny. I was listening to you talk about, how crappy if you had a childhood or not. And mine was. I loved my mom, but my dad was terrible. Alcoholic, bad times. And it's true where you look at it and you become a better person.
I hope.
And so if you learn from it, great. And so that's what keeps me and my children together. A
lot of people let it self-destruct them. They'll drive themselves into the ground just saying, screw it. He messed me up. Or she messed me up.
Yeah, and it's terrible because that's the thing. You either can break the chain or follow what you learned.
Did you just manage on your own, or did you have some support around you to help you, understand not to be that person?
I did it on my own, moved away from, the area where he lived. And the minute I could and just started my life. And I never saw him again until he died 2 years ago.
Did you go to his funeral?
So it was a long time.
Did you see him before he died, or you? How did that go?
Yeah. I went down there because my daughter wanted to meet him because he was dying, and I really didn't want to, but I did for her.
Okay.
And so you do what you need to do. And the last time I saw him, I was 15.
Wow.
And I'm 62 now. So I was 60 years old when I saw him again.
Wow. By chance, did he by any means have any regrets, make any amends or anything, or was he too sick or something like to do?
No, he was out of it. He didn't even know who I was. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I really believe even if he did, he wouldn't, because he had all the opportunity with all his grandkids, and he had 7 children.
Right.
And he never saw any of us after he divorced my mom.
That's a shame, but there are those situations, and it sucks. And a lot of people, why me?
Yeah, well, it's so true. And a couple of my brothers and sisters are pretty screwed up over it.
It doesn't shock me a bit. I mean, it happens. A lot of people take it so badly to heart that they let it just, the why, what did I do wrong? It's nothing with you.
Right. Yeah, it's hard.
I mean,
anyways, well, I'm going to let the lines open again so you can get another call.
No, that's all right.
I did want to wish you happy Father's Day.
Thank you. And again, the odds are in your favor. I mean, at least you were able to tell me something good that came from it, that you are nothing like that, and and you're good to your children, and will never let that happen for them.
Yeah, it's and I have I've got 6 children and I've got 6 grandkids.
You got 6 kids?
Yep.
Jesus, man.
And we're all connected.
Wow.
So it's good.
Well, good. All right. Listen, thank you, and happy Father's Day, and thanks for watching, and let's just keep on going. All right.
Yep.
All right, brother.
Okay. You take care.
Thank you.
Okay.
I love you.
Uh-huh.
Bye.
Bye.
There you go. Michael called. See what I mean? He had a father that wasn't a father, but he didn't let that stop him from being a father. 818-259-7983. For those of you who will not sing, I want you to call me and make my phone ring. Come on, people. 818-259-7983. If you got a Father's Day story, a good one, a bad one, you want to tell me something, you want to say, hey, Peter, I'm listening. Telling you, life isn't always the way you want it to be. The trick is, what are you going to do about it? I'm telling you, there's so many times when I'm just hustling. I'm going, why am I banging my head against the wall? And the reason is because life is going to keep moving, with or without me. What do I want it to be? It's your choice. That phone number right down there, 818-259-7983. I want somebody else to call. I want a female to call. How about that? Let a female call and tell me your Father's Day. I saw a bunch of them. I mean, everybody posting pictures on Facebook. That's why I was really spending the day today. I was going to start gathering, bullet point stories and things like that to do. And then I just kind of stopped. I go, this isn't really that hard to talk about. It really isn't. When it's, it's stuff about love and all that, it just kind of comes to fruition, able to just, talk about things. I told you what, my Easter stories with my dad. My dad was it's really sad because nowadays, most people, when I come into this town, say, hey, I saw your dad. And my mother doesn't get mentioned very often. And it sucks. Because, see, my mother took ill way before my dad did, and she was not able to go. My father always ran around. He was all about town. He drove 3 days up until he passed away. And so my mother faded away kind of because, she spent 2 years in a nursing home, which I hated, but there was no other alternative. we couldn't facilitate her in the house. She had lost her ability to walk. We didn't have roll-in showers and things like that. I mean, they took really good care of her, but she became disassociated. She couldn't go to church anymore. So my father was the one who walked around and ran around, went to church, and, how's your wife? Hang on, how's your wife? How's that going? And how's this going? And, and there was always, we saw your father there. We saw your father there. We saw your father, and so she kind of, it's always the same thing. And I feel really bad about it, but there's nothing you could do. It is what it is. I mean, he just left the last impression. He was the one that, people saw last. So it was always your dad. I saw your dad and your dad's house. Even it's like your dad's house. It's like it was both my parents' house, but he was the last one in it. So it became, your dad's house, and it's weird because I think about it a lot. It's like I don't want my mother to be forgotten, but that's me. Nobody really forgets. They don't mean it. It's just by default. It's just the way it is. Hang on one second. Let's see what's going on here. Hi, you're on with Life of Peter G. Who's this? Hello.
Gene.
Hey, Gene. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am alive and kicking. I don't think I can complain.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you, sweetheart. How's it going?
Good. How's it going with you?
I really can't complain. I've been burning the candle on both ends, but I'm not going to bitch about it.
That picture that you posted on there the other day, was that your daughter next to you?
Picture that was posted the other day. I think if I know what you're talking about, absolutely that was my daughter. I don't have a whole lot of was she really, really young?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I don't actually, yeah, that's my daughter. I'm only kidding, but that is my daughter.
She is beautiful.
Listen, I know I'm extremely blessed with her. She's beautiful on the inside, more to me than anything.
Uh-huh.
She's just a good kid. So far, at almost the age of 16, I cannot complain.
Oh, wow.
It's still, she's doing really well, and I don't have to really.
That's great.
I'm not worrying about her yet. So that's what really makes me happiest.
Okay.
Everybody kept telling me because she's been a really good child even as a baby, and people say wait till she's a teenager, and it's like so far so good. I'm waiting for the shoe. Yeah, I'm waiting for the shoe to fall, but so far so good. What keeps you up so late tonight?
What I met my sister-in-law's puppy Ruby. I met her.
You met her?
Yeah, whenever I met Ruby, she is really cute.
Yes, cute Ruby.
Yeah, she is fun. Yeah, today I went over again because my niece, I went over my brother's house today, and my niece was over there, and she wanted to see the puppy, so we went over so she could meet Ruby.
Is that for Father's Day?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, because my niece is my youngest brother. It's his daughter. Yeah, she just turned 19 this year.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she's beautiful too, and she did great in college this year.
Yeah, well, listen. The way I figure, if the only way you can judge how your life did in raising your child is to see how they come. At the end of the day, see how the outcome is.
Right. She's very smart.
Good.
Yeah.
You got any Father's Day stories for us or anything? Good or bad?
No, not really.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I still miss my brother that I lost. I still miss him.
Well, of course. Listen, Gene, you're never going to stop missing him, because if you love somebody, it's impossible. It doesn't get any easier.
Yeah. I think about the fun times that we had together.
Well, you're going to think about that forever. I mean, it's just what you're going to have to do is you just learn how to live with it. And that's all you can do. I mean,
because my brother, he has videos of different things that we did, and so my niece, she brought it up after we ate dinner. She wanted to watch a video, so we put it in, and it was kind of funny.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I mean, somebody.
Yeah, we were all on there.
Well, again, somebody said to me, "I know it must be hard for you, especially on Father's Day." And it's like, it's hard for me every day. You just learn how to deal with it.
Yeah, that's true, right? Yeah.
So, it's that's all you can do. And I need you to just be really, really good, with
Yeah.
it. That's
my
all.
sister-in-law, she was having a tough time. She was telling me and my
Of course.
niece that she was having a tough time, with her husband not being around this year,
Right. First time.
Yeah.
Right.
All the holidays are going to be hard for her.
Sure they are.
They'll probably be hard for all of us.
Yeah.
But I think about the fun times.
But you guys just get together, you surround her. It helps keep your mind off of things.
Yeah, that's what we do. We get together whenever she wants us to come over,
Well, then it seems like you pretty much understand then, and that's the way it is.
Right, yeah.
All right. Anything else, Gene? Because
You know what? Bob posted something on there today that he's going to be back on Facebook soon again.
Oh, sure. Well, here's the deal.
Yeah, I miss hearing him talk.
Well, you'll get your opportunity next Sunday because Bob's going to be on this show next Sunday.
He's going to be on your show.
That's right.
For that.
I'm sure that he'll have a lot.
Looking forward to that.
I told him because I wished him a happy Father's Day today, and I said get on.
Did you talk to him in person?
No, ma'am. I just send him a text because today's been very crazy.
That's what I do. I sent him a message.
And
said Happy Father's Day.
Exactly. I told him to gather his thoughts because next week.
He's a good guy like you are.
Well,
but you guys are doing great things.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I look forward to your show and his show.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you paying attention. But just keep on following and share.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Well, look.
Are you having a good time in Florida?
I cannot confirm nor deny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen a lot of your friends that are there?
I've been kind of busy, but let's just say that I'm trying to squeeze in things while I can. I brought my work here with me. That's the problem. It's very time consuming. And being that I'm on my own over here, it's making it even harder for me doing things, long distance, and we're splitting up chores.
Right.
But because I couldn't afford to bring people with me, it's just we're lucky to be here. We figured it out though. I mean, now with all this computer magic, everything it can be done. But I'm doing the best I can, and it seems to be not that bad.
I know you. I know you are.
So I mean,
do you miss California yet?
No, not at all. Not yet. Anyway, other than my daughter.
Yeah, I'm sure you're missing your daughter.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's where we're at. But it's all good. We'll be back before you know it. But next week is going to be Bob Paff East meets West after 2 months.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that show.
Okay, well then you make sure you get a nap in so you'll be up. Okay.
I will.
All right. Listen, let me see if there's anybody. The phone's rang a couple of times and I let it go because I wanted to talk to you. Haven't spoke to you in a while.
Yeah, I haven't talked to you for a while.
Yes, ma'am.
The last time when Bob Paff was on your show, you guys were talking to me.
It's very possible.
Shortly after my brother passed away.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Look, hang in there, and we'll see you down the road. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Gene. You take care of yourself.
Okay, you do the same.
All right,
bye.
Love you. Bye. That was Jean from Baltimore. Big fan. She really, really likes this show. So I'm told. And I see Paul's finally on. Hey, Pete. Hey. 818-259-7983. Come on, Nelly. Let's a couple more phone calls, and I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to end this show on an hour like I'm supposed to, which I haven't done in a month and a half. Always running overtime, but I can't help it with the guests until I get some structure. I just we get locked into things and make sure Bob takes a nap. I think Bob, yeah. Bob told me he's going to be in South Florida, so he'll be talking to me from South Florida. I think he's going there. He's got a birthday next week too, a week from tomorrow. So don't tell him I know this, but I know this. But so I'll spring it on him too. But so I think he's going down to visit folks, and he's going to do the show from South Florida. So we'll both be in Florida, just on different ends of it. I like the Gulf Coast. I've had the pleasure of standing in the Gulf of Mexico in emerald green water, and it has been miraculous. The things I used to live for and took for granted and forgotten but good stuff. So 818-259-7983. I'll take another call or two, and if not, we'll just kiss it goodbye. Because again, Father's Day, I'm a father. I want to kick back. I've actually been going at it all day today, from one thing to another, and promised myself that because even when this show is over, folks, just so you know, it's not over for us. There's a bunch of stuff that has to get done, and then it's on to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. That's how this show works. No rest for the wicked. But I love it. I love you for paying attention. All my 6 million. How's that? For tuning in at one point or another, whether they're watching the shows after it's live, again, live LinkedIn, live Facebook, official Peter G Show page, live YouTube, and these shows regurgitate. You can catch them. You can see them on demand whenever you want. Here we go. 818-259-7986, 7983. Oof. It's my other number. Here we go. Hi, you on with Live Peter G. Who's this?
Hi, Peter. It's Tina Gill from Pensacola.
Hello, Tina from Pensacola. How are you, baby?
I'm fine.
Wow.
Happy Father's Day.
Thanks, sweetheart. How are you?
Oh, doing well.
Yeah?
Staying busy.
Yeah?
Staying busy just like everybody else.
Okay. Are you swimming upstream or just, down, or just swimming?
Kind of treading water.
Just like everybody else?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. How was your Father's Day?
It was emotional, but I tried to enjoy it the best I could. Missing my father too,
I get it, but I mean, don't you miss him every day, pretty much? It just brings a little more emphasis on it on Father's Day, but actually, it's pretty much probably all the same.
Correct.
Yeah,
it's correct.
Yeah.
And the irony for me is, my sister inherited the family house, so we Airbnb it. And I'm basically the caregiver of his home.
Oh.
So I'm with him pretty much a couple days a week.
Right, just frolicking around the house.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So memories do flood back. One of my favorite ones, which I shared with you the other day about the French bread.
He's sitting down eating because I put a post that I remember. Let's go backward. A few days ago, I put a post that came up in memories on Facebook that one night I was here visiting and I came in around. It was about 2 a.m. and I walked in the house and then I came home and I opened up a beer. And my father was up because my father slept on really crazy schedule. So he'd go to bed at 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and he'd wake up around midnight or 1 o'clock, stay up watching TV till 3 or 4 or till 2, go to bed again and wake up at 4 a.m. and then he's having breakfast at 4 a.m. So I'm up and we're sitting at the kitchen table. He's making coffee at 2 a.m. I'm having a beer, and he's like, "Why do you have a beer?" And I'm going, "Why do you have coffee at friggin' 2 a.m?" And we're just staring at each other. But it was great. It was great.
Sure.
And so
it's amazing.
You chimed in and you said, "Tell everybody." Tell them.
Oh, yeah. What happened was my father loved to go on Saturday mornings to the little bakery that was near your home on Brancas. And he'd buy a hot loaf of French bread. Yeah. And the man loved the inside where it was moist
and doughy
and soft. And he would eat that. Oh, and we would sit down with a plate of Greek olive oil that my grandmother would bring back from the islands.
And soak it up.
And he would dunk the soft, moist bread, and I would eat all the crusty part, and I'm dunking it in the olive oil.
Well, who doesn't
and
like
it was
fresh
one
bread?
of the things we shared. Yeah.
I mean, everybody loves fresh bread, but my old man was the opposite. If I was grabbing the doughy part, he'd say, "Why are you eating that? That's the worst part." Because it's just dough. It's not cooked. He was a carpenter.
But that's the way he felt about it too.
Yeah. Also,
growing up in the 50s, home movies really came in big. And my dad loved them. He bought a movie camera, and I'm the one that has to hold the floodlights. We're talking 6 huge floodlights. I would be sunburned by the time we were through with the party.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
yeah.
Again, we all miss our. I mean, a lot of people. I just kind of put in a post and I said the ones of you who still have your parents, you may not be at the point where we are, but some people spend their Father's Day, at a cemetery. You know what I mean? And
sure.
And
yes.
I'm grateful. I mean, how old was your father when he passed?
I know. And, things weren't always great because he did survive Pearl Harbor during World War II. He was on the Enterprise. So we went through PTS with him growing up, but we didn't understand it.
Right.
But I was very fortunate to have good grandparents, great grandfathers who really showed times when you needed that strength.
Yeah.
To go through some of these other things. And even they didn't understand it,
Sure. Sure.
But sometimes you have to look for the good in other people too, to give you that strength.
Right. Right. Well,
so I'm grateful for having great grandfathers as well.
Yeah. Family. Well, it's not.
What can I say?
What can you say?
I really, but I do appreciate your show. We all enjoy you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you for speaking to my mother this morning at church. She was really tickled.
Oh, well, again, look, I don't know about you, but I felt like I felt like it didn't feel the same to me. I hate to say this, but I just felt like things are, and change is inevitable, but
sure.
I just really felt like, if my daughter was there, she'd there's nobody that she would have known for me to push her to say hi to or anything like that. I mean, that was
right.
It was just, even the service was a little bit weirder. And I don't want to, for those of you who don't understand Greek Orthodox Church, it's old school stuff. It's not rock church or anything like that. But there was a few things that happened that I go, this is different. And
sure.
And a whole time I'm thinking, if my old man was here, I don't know what he'd be saying.
No, he would not like this at all.
Yeah.
No, actually, because of the whole pandemic, a lot of our elderly people have gone to live with their children, and some of them are out of state or in a different town.
Yeah.
So some of them are slowly coming back, but we still have a few that have gone to their children you think they've isolated themselves, and it was very emotional for them.
Sure.
And, the older they are, they don't know what to expect. And I had to stay close to my mother, too, at the very beginning of this till we could figure it out. This whole thing through. But we're pretty much typical Greek. We love to hug.
Yeah, we're over it. Well, let me tell you, again, it's like the mask came off the minute I got off that plane, and not one single person is going giving you the look like, where's your mask? Like California.
Yeah. I know.
And
we would get calls from California, and they were even, are you in the car with someone else? And my cousin would say, shh, don't say nothing. Oh my God. Because they were adamant about no connection.
Yeah. Well, they filled everybody's brains with crap. And I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but this control scare tactic thing, it really, really did.
It is a form of control is what it comes down to. Yes, there is a problem.
Yes.
My daughter and her two youngest children came down with it.
Sure.
My daughter still has issues with smelling and tasting.
Right.
And we understand. Other friends of ours have had it. One is having the chronic ringing, which I've always had because of work and things have affected my ears. But she said she had never had that in her day-to-day life with this hard ring in her ear, but they've never been able to shake it. I still try to be cautious and be careful and respectful, but I'm not crazy like with the mask for every moment of our day.
Live in a bunker.
It kills me to watch a homeless person walking down the street with the mask on.
Oh, I see. I was going to say, I don't know a lot of homeless people that are sick,
Sure, but they're walking with the mask on, and there's nobody around them.
Look, I got regular people. Screw the homeless. I mean, I go walking when I'm in California, and there's people, we're walking on these 15-foot wide sidewalks, and there's nobody around them, and they're putting the mask on as they're passing me from 20 feet away. Even if they have it off, they'll put it on until they pass me. I'm going, that's pretty messed up. I mean,
it is. It really is.
But anyway, I'll get back to that, and I'll start. We'll see what happens over there. But either way, here we are.
All right, dear.
We're all here.
We're here, and we'll survive it. Yep. And I told someone, I said, if I die from it, then it was meant to be.
It pretty much. I mean, people die from things every day. That's what. Unfortunately, all that got turned off, and everything. Everybody was just dying from COVID, and still are. Sure. So we forgot that
They didn't advertise and publicize how many people are still dying from pneumonia.
No, not at all.
AIDS.
No.
Hepatitis.
It's all COVID now. It's all COVID.
Yeah. Now. There are so many more things in the world that people are still dying from. How about hunger?
Well, that's COVID now. Don't get me started. That's a whole nother show because I'm gonna get into it when I get back in California, but not today.
Okay.
All right. Listen.
I appreciate it, but you take care. We love you dearly.
Yeah, I love you too.
My whole family does.
Oh wow.
And I'm I'm a caregiver, and the little lady that lives on Milton Road sends her love to you.
Okay, I know who you're talking about, and I didn't know whether I can go visit her or not.
Sure you can.
Okay.
I'll be there tomorrow from 2 to 6. But she's a wonderful lady. God bless her. 94.
I only found out yesterday that you were doing that, and I go, "Wow, small world. How does that happen?"
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you what. If you have questions, her mind is sharp as a tack.
That's what everybody tells me. But she just for physical abilities.
If you want to just ask those questions, you don't have a source. She's the girl.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna try to finish up my chores.
Yes.
And see
I'm gonna
if I
let
can
you go, dear.
All right, baby.
I hope we get to see you soon. Take care.
Thank you so much. I'll see you.
And happy Father's Day.
Thank you, sweetheart. Love you.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye. Love you too. Bye-bye.
Wow. There you have it. A local calling me. See, I can't see everybody. I can't be everywhere. But, all right. Tell you what, if I don't get another phone call within the next 60 seconds, I'm going to start making my exit plan for the night. Father's Day. What can I say? Father's Day. I am a son and a father, and I'm grateful for everything I have. Life has not always been a bowl of cherries. I'll say that a million times. In fact, I think I've had way more I've had a lot of good stuff in my life. I really can't say that, but you tend to remember all the ass aches. I mean, they kind of leave scars. But very, very blessed, and being Father's Day again, I took more emphasis on my father than I did today than me being a father. I didn't have my daughter here with me, which I wish I did, but then again, I wish I have her with me all the time. I'm just that way. But oh boy, here we go. Hey, Life of Peter G. Who's this?
Hey, Peter, this is Brian. How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. How happy Father's Day?
Happy Father's Day to you and everybody else that's listening.
Thank you. Long time no speak. I mean, not physically on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what can you tell us about Father's Day?
Oh, I miss my dad.
Yeah.
One of the main things that I did with my dad outside of business was we went fishing a lot together.
That's a memorable thing, at least for me, at least. Wow, where'd you go? Did you just go out in ocean or bays or freshwater or what?
Freshwater.
Yeah, you're a freshwater guy.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
and,
fishing with your dad. I don't think it gets too much more memorable than that kind of stuff. Now, as it's kind of funny because I used to go fishing with my dad when I was a little kid, but in Connecticut. and we'd go off of the breaker water and off of the rocks. Like you walk these big giant boulders that made breaker water, and the fish would linger around the rocks. They'd feed around the rocks. And we moved to Florida, the whole place where, the Gulf of Mexico, and we didn't hardly fish. But I was getting older and I started playing music. So I guess that had a lot to do with it too. But you never forget those things when we're fishing with your dad.
Yeah, well, we enjoy catching fish, but when me and Dad went, we just enjoyed our time together. And if we caught fish, that was a plus.
How old were you when you were doing that?
Dad took us fishing from the time I was a little child until he passed away in 2001. So the last time I went fishing with him was sometime in 2001.
Gotcha.
And at that time I was 41.
Gotcha. Well, again, some people, count your blessings, I guess. Every day you don't realize how important these days are until you don't have them anymore. But
yeah, I agree with that. While I got you on here, I know you're ready to get off, and I understand that.
That's okay.
How long are you going to be in town?
As far as I know, we're cutting bait. Get it? It's a fishing joke. We're cutting bait.
I'm sorry. Say that again, please.
I think we're cutting bait probably around the end of the month. But
okay.
Believe me, I think I needed to be here through. I should have had the opportunity to be here through the end of July, and I said no. That's too much. We need to reel it on back in because I tend to, there's just too much going on. But as far as I know, we're calling it a day.
I know you're busy, but hopefully we can get together before you leave town.
Now I'm down to the crunching time, but who knows? It's a possibility. We tried when I first got here. I think, I think I asked you because you kind of chimed in on my instant messenger, but you were busy, and it was just a fluke, thing with me. I'm all I can say is hit me up. We'll see. Because it's a little bit cutting. Everybody says like, well, what are you doing tomorrow? And it's like, I don't know. I mean, I do know, but I don't know. I'm trying to wrap up a lot of loose ends. As much as I enjoy like doing stuff, this having the job with me kind of sucks into the whole like hangout thing. But I've been doing a little. I've been trying to keep a good balance. So you never know. How's that?
I understand.
And all we can do is try. Yeah, we could try because it seems like it was just a week ago or two when I kind of spoke to you through instant messenger or whatever. But yet that was many weeks ago. That was that was probably in May, I think.
I forget exactly when it was, but it was a while back.
Yeah, it was a while back, and that's how fast time is. You tell people, they go, well, how long are you in town for? And I go, I don't know, probably about 6 weeks. And they go, wow, it's a long time. I go, I know it sounds like a long time, but believe me when I tell you, it'll be over before you know it. And I've got some really close people that I have still not seen. And yeah, Paul says, I've been really, really busy. Paul can account for that. He's texting.
Oh, I'm sure
right
you
now.
have.
He's reminding me how busy I've been.
Well, I'll send you a text.
Yeah, that's all. You just try, and it's hit or miss. And I can't make any promises now because now I'm having to start writing things down to the things that I have not completed while I'm here. And I do have somewhat of a responsibility here on my personal end of it, and that's the whole problem. It's like it's not all Mr. Fun and Games. I know I seem like it, but it's a bit of a I have to blend in some reality to being here too. But again, I'm not saying no. So it's a good start.
Okay.
You just kind of give me a heads up, and if I can, I can, and if I can't, we'll figure it out. Cool.
Okay, Peter.
All right. Well, listen, thank you so much for calling. I'm glad that a few people decided to call in, and it's really weird. A lot of locals called in, which is it's pretty understandable because I do have a good handful of people down in here, and I'm very, very thankful for it. So I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, I noticed you had a lot of people here on the coast.
I do. It started with support from your friends, but I got to tell you, some of my closest friends do not watch me, and they don't mean any harm by that, but they've been watching me for 40-something years. I mean, all they're seeing is me being me, so I can't blame them. I'd be sick of me too. Not that they're sick of me; they don't want to watch the show and deal with me in person. So it's like one or the other. Make up my mind.
Yeah.
But for those of you who do not see me that much, it's it's not so bad. You can tolerate me for an hour plus, and I love you for it.
All right, Peter, you have a good evening. I won't keep you. I know you want to get out of here.
Well, no, I do, because we got other things. We're gonna, again, it's not over. We won't finish up until like about 2 in the morning over here by the time we finish. But it's a good start. I hope you've been enjoying the shows in the past, though. But keep on watching, and I thank you. Okay.
All right, take care.
All right, brother. See you later.
Bye.
There you have it. Father's Day 2021, June 20th. Right here on Life of Peter G, The Peter G Show, live. I'm very grateful. And as I said, I have a lot to be thankful for. Ooh, where am I? A lot to be thankful for. Hey, listen, before I forget, if anybody's got something worth being on this show for, I mean, physically being on this show, whether it's virtual or as our, we bring you on camera. I want somebody on camera. If you got something worth talking about, something worth, it's important because things that you may want to share might affect a lot of other people in a positive way. If you got something like that, contact us. All right. Be a guest on my show. Just send me an email, info@petergshow.com. Or send them an email at petergshow.com. Send us an email at petergshow, info@petergshow.com. And let us know what you have to talk about. And it's working because I just got through speaking to somebody, and we're going to be doing a show. Never thought about it. Gambling addiction. That's going to be in July. But they contacted us through this, and they said, we'd love to do that. Would you be interested? And it's like, and I thought about it, and I go, sure. Never thought about gambling addiction. That's as bad as any kind of addiction is addiction. So I'm really curious. I've never thought about it, and I'm curious to hear what they're going to have to say about it, especially during this pandemic and all this crap, and people are home, and you can gamble, from home. You don't have to go to the casinos or the, believe me, people die from gambling as well. That's a fact. Get in over your head. I bet that will be good. Paul, you're on a roll tonight. Don't you be betting on this show. Wow. He's on target. It's going to be really, really good. Anyway, listen, I thank everybody for being here tonight. I want you to please share. But again, I want you to go to my YouTube and just subscribe to the YouTube. I would appreciate it because I just think it's easier for you to find me on YouTube. Things are going to be changing. We're going to be having a major discussion in July, mid-July, about where we're going with all this and where we're going to transition and how we're going to do things. And, it's just a lot of stepping stones. And right now we're kind of in growth mode. That's growth mode. So it just it just makes it easier for you to find us. And I know it's convenient because you're already somewhere watching, but I'm asking you as a favor to just go to YouTube. I'd rather have you subscribe there, and because that way there's a few more, if things change, you'll have more ways of finding out where the hell we are if we change. I think change is uncomfortable, but unfortunately change is inevitable, as I said, and change means growth. And we're ready to grow. I'm ready to go bigger, better for you guys. Salute. I miss my big red plastic cup. It's just got a bigger grip and it's kind of notched, so I don't slip and drop it. They gave me this blue, and it's kind of slick. So far, so good, though. I haven't had any accidents. There's a lot of equipment around me. You don't see it. It's below the camera line, but I'm kind of like, those those things you put a toddler in? You put them in the middle, and it's like a table with all these spinning balls and things, and they kind of bounce around in it. It's kind of like what I'm in, except without the bounce around. I feel like that's what electronically. Anyway, thank you for everybody for tuning into the Peter G Show. I want to see you next week. Don't forget, next week it's East Meets West with Bob Paff. Finally, next week, last Sunday of the month of June, Baltimore's own Mr. Bob Paff, East Meets West, going to be on this show finally because again in May. He had the last weekend off because it was Memorial Day weekend, and we took the whole show off and just reran. And he's going to be back, and I guarantee you he's got a ton of stuff to talk about because, believe me, I've been watching him, and a lot of crap has hit him, and he was just like spewing. So I can almost guarantee that it's going to be. I'm just going to kick back and let him go. I'll just say, so I hear about this, and I'll just kick back. But anyway, it's going to be good. I'm going to leave you with this closing Father's Day montage of mine that we opened up with. I just, again, it just kind of, when they put this together and all that, I just kind of liked it because it just really hit you in the heart. And Father's Day, if Father's Day doesn't make you feel warm and fuzzy and bring back memories and all that, whether you're a father or a son or whatever, or a daughter, I don't know what will, but we will see you next Sunday night, okay? Again, love you guys, and peace out. Just both him and Simon Phillips take up. They just look at me, and it's like, fucking Peter. Hit you right in the heart again. Anyway, we're going to be boarding in about 35 minutes, taking enough time for themselves. So that's it. We'll get back to you tomorrow or something like that. Go find an energy drink with no preservatives. I'm a professional. I'll rise above this. Okay?
Peter G Show. Peter G Show. Divorced dad, single dad, divorced dad, single dad. Peter G Show.